we do want to talk to you, the amazing CHGO Bears fan, about an ESPN article. And I'll give you the headline on this one. 103 NFL players answer 6 burning questions about quarterbacks. So these are real NFL players, 103 of them. And they were asked the top 3 current quarterbacks. They were asking the rookie quarterback who will have the most successful career, most overrated, most underrated, and the biggest trash talker. So what's relevant to the Bears? Which rookie QB will have the most successful career? And the answer, of course, was Caleb Williams is the voter. Williams got 34, Jaden Daniels got 30, and J.J. McCarthy got 10. Now, of course, this is before McCarthy got hurt. Michael Penix got 8 of them, and Bo Nix, who started for the Broncos, got 8. So the belief is real in Caleb, but that's a lot of votes for Jaden Daniels, man. A lot of votes for Jaden Daniels, but there it was.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Anonymous players all voting. I mean, this isn't media opinion. These are players in the league. How many did we say it was? 103 of them. And
Yep.
so, a pretty split down the line with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams there, 34-30. Caleb, you would think, would be the overwhelming favorite if you pulled that question here in Chicago, right? It is interesting to see that. And, there was a quote that came out that certainly is making its rounds that certainly has Bears Twitter in a tizzy. Not that we ever do that on Bears Twitter, but from an anonymous NFC South player on which rookie QB will be most successful. He says, everybody is going to say Caleb, but bro, you realize you've got all that pressure. There's a difference when you've got that pressure, and he put that pressure on himself. So if he doesn't come out here like Patrick Mahomes level, then he's a bust in everyone's eyes. And that was pretty strong words there from an anonymous NFC South player. I think it's fun to try to figure out which NFC South player that was. But it just kind of goes to show you kind of where some of the players' mindset is with this guy. There's a lot of hype around him. He's certainly very talented. He still won the most votes from the players at 34. But this particular NFC South player certainly has his questions.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a Tennessee Titan player who's getting, amping himself up and his team up.
NFC South. So you got the Panthers, the Falcons, the Bucks, and the Saints.
Oh, NFC South. Why did I think it was the AFC? Okay.
No. There was an AFC West player that said it's Caleb with the most promising future if the Bears figure out what they have.
All right.
But the NFC South, a lot of people are speculating that it's Spencer Rattler who's in the NFC South now, and there's some history there with him and Caleb. Or could it be Bryce Young that said that? It's hard to say. There's a lot of players in the NFC South, but fun to try to speculate on which player it was that said that.
It's my first faux pas of the show. I apologize greatly for. Hey, we were literally talking about that again at the same. If you've been with us the whole hour. With the Nick Wright, Danny Parkins thing about which AFC South player was. So they had it wrong, and I just followed, and then I didn't read the article well enough.
World says it was Mooney, Darnell Mooney at the Falcons. That's interesting, right?
I just didn't realize this when we were talking pre-show, Braggs. Everyone's saying Spencer Rattler because Caleb took his job at Oklahoma.
100%.
I'm just realizing this now. And then,
right.
Obviously had a firsthand look at Caleb and probably has some reasons to not be his biggest fan.
Exactly.
It feels like a defensive player to me, but you never know. What I thought was interesting in this poll, they were asked about the most overrated quarterbacks in the league, and the number one vote getter was Josh Allen with 11. That is insane to me. Nobody is. Let me ask you this. Has anyone said, literally anywhere in any NFL corner, media, coach, player, Buffalo included, that Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes? Has anyone said that?
No.
They have not. Okay. So how is he overrated? Because there's no way he's not slotted somewhere in the Allen, Burrow, Herbert, that area. He's in there.
Yep.
So it just doesn't make sense to me that he's overrated. He's, I would say, perfectly rated. Who's denying that he is of that talent, that he is of that production, that you would if there was a draft right now and it was a 1 year, who can you take to win football games? If it's a 10-year thing, even that, Josh Allen's still, what is he, 26, 27, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. He ain't some old guy. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to me. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. I know he certainly has turned the ball over, and they haven't gotten where they wanted to go in the AFC, but it's not an easy, conference to win. You got Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes fighting against you every year as well. And so, but he gets 11 votes. Jalen Hurts gets 10, Tua also with 10. And then Justin Herbert, who's the lightning rod of whether or not he's overrated or not, gets 9, Trevor Lawrence with 8. Those two are certainly always in that discussion too of are they great quarterbacks or are they overhyped? So yeah, it's an interesting. I don't agree with the players saying that with Josh Allen, but again, this holds a little more, these rankings hold a little more credence than if it was polled by 103 anonymous media members. These are 103 anonymous NFL players that play against these guys.
Yes and no, because not that I'm here to prop the media up, but Stephen, I know you want to say something here, so I can't wait to hear it. But they also vote. They did the top 100. Jalen Johnson wasn't in there. Like, these guys aren't.
DJ Moore wasn't in it.
Right. So they ain't perfect. What's up, Stephen?
I'm just thinking that Josh Allen's probably rated as the most overrated player by this poll, just because his supporting cast has gotten so much weaker this season. Obviously, Stephon Diggs is gone, and they're relying on Khalil Shakir to possibly be their wide receiver 1, or Keon Coleman, who's a rookie. I mean, that doesn't inspire the most confidence in me. I don't know about you guys, but I think the point here should be that Josh Allen's talent is through the roof. 15 rush TDs last year to go, I think, along with 30-plus pass TDs. I mean, who wouldn't want that on their team?
Right. And look, first of all, we just lost Steven, but that shirt needs to be underlined. Look at that thing.
I'm going golf.
That is extreme Hunter S. Thompson vibes right there.
But I don't think it's as in depth as what Steven's giving credit to players to. I think this is personal. Who are my friends? And who do you look at and think like, that guy ain't nothing. I mean, look at the way they voted for Brock Purdy. Purdy was a vote getter, and the most overrated was 6. Now he's on the back end of it, but he also is most underrated. He's at the top of the list, so he's on both. 14 players voted him most underrated. 6 voted him most overrated. I mean, it's just he just shows that,
difference of opinion, split locker rooms, right? They can, even locker rooms can't figure out who their quarterback is, because if you look at that list of underrated quarterbacks, Purdy 14 votes, Stafford and Purdy both tied with 14 for most underrated. And then you have Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff and Jordan Love all tied at 7 votes, in second place or third, however you want to frame it. All 3 last year in the NFC North. So certainly interesting. Bryce Young also getting 7 votes for most underrated quarterback. So I think some of these players are still waiting for Bryce Young to get a shot to show what he's truly capable of. But as we were talking about earlier with Brock Purdy, he's surrounded by so much talent that sets him up for success. He's backed by Kyle Shanahan, one of the best play callers in the league. So for that reason, a lot of people sell short Brock Purdy's abilities in this league, right? He doesn't get the credit that Kyle Shanahan gets as much. So even though Brock Purdy was fighting for that MVP. So it's just interesting to see perception and, somebody in the NFC South saying Caleb's got to step up or else, he's going to be considered a bust if he's not Patrick Mahomes level. It just kind of shows how, everybody's kind of sharpening their knives with Caleb, right? You got Simmons, the defensive lineman from the Titans, talking some smack about Caleb, a month or 2 ago in an interview well before their week 1 matchup here. Now we're almost to game week. And, I just think there's certain players in this league that are going to look at Caleb and want to give him the welcome to the big leagues moment. Right. And so they want to see him prove it. And with all the hype that's behind him and all the commercial deals and everything else that he comes with, but You know, it was because people were like, oh, it's anonymous, like this was some random thing. Well, they voted 103 anonymous players, so it wasn't like this guy just randomly sent this into somebody. But at the same time, you're gonna make a statement like that anonymously. You know, it seems to me the pressure's on you because you don't want to put your name next to it too, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't exactly know how the poll went down, but I'm assuming that it was just we're doing this anonymously. So go ahead, get involved. I mean, yeah. Wrapping up the Allen part of it, he got 26 votes for the biggest trash talker. So how many of those people were like trash talker, overrated? Boom, boom. I mean that those two potentially could go together. But yeah, I mean,
it's an interesting article, and you can find it on ESPN if you want to read it for yourself. But certainly some interesting things in there for you guys to take in over this Labor Day weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.